audio issues on the live. So can everybody hear me? Whenever y'all come in, I just want to know if everybody can hear me. But I was basically touching on some of the news in the NBA, and I want to open up the floor to people to present their own viewpoints and things that they want to talk about. What's good? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I just want to make sure. Okay, good. So I've been doing, my content has switched from what it used to be, but I still wanted to touch on sports a bit. I don't want to completely move until I fully transition. What's good, Emmanuel Linder? What's good, family? What's good, loving Aries? I appreciate y'all. You know, I'm here to talk back and forth with y'all as well, hear y'all viewpoints, y'all opinions as well. But I've seen the LeBron James interview that he's been talking with Pat McAfee. It shows me a lot, and I use him. I know the fanboy is not going to understand this, but I use him to teach lessons about human behavior, because I myself went through a situation that transformed me, and instead of allowing that situation to destroy me or make me a worse person and cold and bitter, I've learned how to learn those lessons. And when I see those characteristics, I want to warn other people. You got to watch out for these type of people. You got to watch out. You got to study people. And I seen LeBron, he's hypersensitive, but he's the same person. What's good, Clayton Phillips? He's hypersensitive. And these athletes in general are hypersensitive. What's good, Rap Guy Reloaded? But these same guys that are hypercritical, they are hypersensitive when they get criticism. LeBron just said that Giannis Antetokounmpo, if he was back in the 70s, he'd be dropping 250 points. These are the same guys that don't want nobody to say anything about them and say the media don't know what they talk about. He just insulted the intelligence of guys that came before them, as if he's just this brilliant. And this is what happens when people start to buy their own hype. It's not just LeBron. I'm talking about people in general. When people to buy into their own hype and believe their own hype. What's good? Appreciate you. When people start to buy their own hype, love and Aries, appreciate you. Always coming through and showing love. When they start to buy their own hype, start smelling themselves, they don't realize, they start to lack that self-awareness. LeBron, the same dude that said it will be disrespectful for Jordan to average 50 in this era. Yeah, but people say that because it's very possible. 250 points, no. It's insane. It's insane. The people say that because Jordan played in a more physical era. And he very well could average 50. To me, that's not unrealistic. Not 60, but 50, yes. 45, yes. The way they play the game, guys are putting up numbers at a historically great rate. You look at what the top players are doing. Look at the ridiculous stat lines they're putting up, like Jokic. This dude's putting up ridiculous stat line. Yeah, he's averaging a triple-double. Russell Westbrook averaged a triple-double 4 times in 5 seasons. We're watching Jokic do what he do. Yeah, LeBron said that. He said a lot of ridiculous things. He turned his back on Wendy. Now, you fanboys that come back and watch this video. And this is not just a lesson for fanboys. This is a lesson for anybody. These same people that sit there and act as if, as long as you saying positive things about them and you kissing their toes and telling the world how wonderful they are, they love you. Yeah, Brian Windsor's is his biggest supporter. He's been school. He's been his fanboy since high school. He's helped LeBron James' brand tremendously. And that's the very person that that sat there and called him a weirdo. Brian Windhorst didn't just start covering you a couple years ago. He didn't just come out of nowhere. You was cool with Brian Windhorst when he was saying all these positive things about you. But all of a sudden, and you seen he turned on Kendrick Perkins. Kendrick Perkins, man, we boys is AAU. We boys is AAU. He's been so used to being coddled by the NBA. Yeah, these dudes is sensitive. Baby booty soft. They sensitive. Sensitive. That's why when I gear my channel and I know I'm heading in a different direction, it is to help the younger generation, the guys that are young that watch my videos, to understand you have to have self-confidence, self-love to not allow the outside noise to distract you from your goals and your purpose. And you also got to be willing to understand the difference between destructive criticism and constructive criticism. And you got to be self-aware enough to know when somebody is being real with you. Yeah, exactly, loving Aries. You got to know when people are keeping it 100 with you. Y'all, these dudes want respect, but they're disrespectful. They want everybody to respect their league, to respect them as players, to respect their era, but they disrespectful. And it's not just, this is bigger than just me talking about them going at the old school. Yeah, LeBron James is a hater himself. Same people that say he got all these haters, he brought it upon himself. The energy you put out there, you'll get it back in return. These dudes, like I said, I make a channel. I understand that my channel is critical of the modern NBA of LeBron James. I can't buy what he says he was close. I can't buy what he said that he was close to Kobe and Mike. I can't buy it. He wasn't. He used Kobe Bryant. He used Kobe Bryant's death to boast his own self. We're doing this for Kobe. I could tell it wasn't genuine because I have experienced it in my own life. I experienced it. God taught me a lesson that I didn't have to learn if I had heeded his words, but I learned the lesson at the end of the day. So I see those characteristics in people. He doesn't believe the mess he says. He doesn't. He doesn't. He's a capper. He says what he needs to say for the moment. And you know that because you'll see him contradicting himself a lot. We all go contradict ourselves from time to time, or maybe we grow. LeBron is obsessed with Jordan. Yeah, his numbers, Space Jam 2, all these different things. You see it. These NBA players in general are obsessed, and they're mad because they're getting, your ratings is going down, dude. Y'all ratings are going down. So, and then y'all want to blame everything but yourself. LeBron, it's a three-point shooting, you know what I'm saying? It's a hell lot of threes. Guy reloaded. Whole career based on MJ. Yeah. He wants to be somebody that he's not. Of course, if he would just be himself, he would be cool. But he can't. He has to go out here and tell everybody he's the GOAT. These guys got to go out here and tell us the game is more advanced than ever, that they're more evolved than ever, that it's better than ever. We should be watching. You guys are starting to sound like the other league. And the WNBA is actually coming up, but you guys are starting to sound like them, where they trying to hype us up to believe something that we know isn't true, when you could just sell people what it is. The NBA, people know when something is authentic. We want to see real competition. We want to see the real deal. You can't touch them. Of course, they can do all those things. Yeah, they can travel, double dribble, spin around, make up moves. They get foul calls when it unnecessarily. They flop around, and they want people for us to believe it. People hate fakeness. For real. I was watching the documentary on The Rock versus Stone Cold Steve Austin, and there was this part in the show where they was talking about when the Rock first came out, and he said fans started to boo me and say, "Die, Rocky, die." They said that because they could tell I wasn't genuine. They could tell I would try to be happy-go-lucky even when I lost. and people stopped believing it. Well, that's the same concept. When he started being the real Rock, when he started showing some real self, yeah, him versus Stone Cold. When he started being the real Rock, being genuine, being himself, being charismatic, that's when fans started to fall in love with him. Same thing with the NBA. We know what we're seeing is not real. We know what we're seeing is not real. We know y'all a bunch of cartoon characters. Y'all in cahoots with each other. Y'all sit there and sing praises to each other. Y'all pull the strings behind the scenes to get the media to say good things about you. And when they say anything negative about you, you completely cut them off. You don't want to hear the truth. Your league sucks because it's fake. Your league sucks because we see what y'all are doing right now is very diva-like behavior. Y'all disrespect the old generation, but you want respect. You want to sit out games, but you want respect. You want to flop all over the floor when you're not getting really fouled, but you want respect. You do nothing to earn the respect that you're demanding we give you. Yeah, you could tell LeBron don't believe it by how he carries himself. Same thing with Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant knows for a fact that he would not be an NBA champion if he didn't join the Golden State Warriors. He knows that it was Steph Curry's team. He saw what LeBron did. He saw how the media flipped the script for LeBron. He didn't realize he's not LeBron because he was the same person that was critical of LeBron for doing that. Then he turns around and does the same thing. But the difference between LeBron and KD is KD knows in his soul that he took a shortcut. That's why when he won those 2 championships, he was like, this is it. We know in our lives, we know when we've earned something. You said, but LeBron wanted him that same season. Yeah. LeBron has a video saying he's a master recruiter, that he wants to recruit all the best talent. There's a whole video clip. It was all on X, all over the place, where he admitted, he's like, yeah, I try to recruit the best players I possibly can recruit. I want the best of the best on my team. So this dude took a shortcut, but it doesn't bother his conscience. It does, but LeBron is better at, he's so consumed in himself. He's so narcissistic that in his mind, he'll justify it. And he has fanboys and yes men around him to pump him up. But deep down in his soul, I know he knows the same thing that KD knows. They took a shortcut to get championships. Yeah, dude wanted to play with all the stars. In life, we all know that. We know when we've earned something, it feels different. When you've grinded and you've made it. That's why people respect Jordan. They respect Magic, Bird. But Jordan's story is so different because he didn't get drafted to a great team like Bird and Magic. What's good, Jonathan McFarland? He didn't get drafted to a good team like Bird and Magic did. He got drafted to a horrible franchise that never won anything before. He didn't have a great supporting cast. He had a bunch of cokeheads. Nick Wright, I believe deep down inside, he knows MJ the GOAT. Kobe is better. Nick Wright's already said that that LeBron stick works so well for him. That's why he's sticking with it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Nick Wright don't care. Nick Wright is about money. He's about image. He's about selling tickets. Like, that's what he's about. Nick Wright don't care about being legit. Exactly. Jordan put the Bulls on the map. Yeah, he did. And then he had to go through that hard road. He didn't have an easy road. Like Bill Russell, he's an all-time great. But we didn't really see this man fail like that. We didn't see Bill Russell progressively get better and build the Celtics. He got on the Celtics. They were immediate winners. They win 11 championships in 13 seasons. Only one season he lost a championship and he got injured. Had he not got injured, he'd probably be 12-0. So Bill Russell, you didn't see that struggle. You saw the league had grown and players could move around more. Jordan stayed loyal to the Chicago even during the losing. Yeah, Jordan was getting his behind mopped. Russell benefited from a great franchise. Yeah, great franchise, great coach, great team, great players. You know what I'm saying? Like, he had the benefit, and then guys were drafted based on their territory. So it was a totally different era. That's no disrespect to Bill Russell. If people got him #1 of all time, I'm not knocking him. But that's why people look at him differently. When you look at it objectively, you can understand it was a different time and less teams and guys literally wherever their territory was, you get drafted. So it's a benefit. Whereas and by the time in the modern era, guys you could, no matter what territory you was, it wasn't based on that anymore. Guys getting drafted from everywhere. So it was a lot more competitive. And then you look at it, you see the path that he had to go through. He had to struggle against Isaiah Thomas and the Pistons. Even though Isaiah Thomas want to rewrite history, he did struggle against Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas was already established though, and he had to build to that. I don't know why he criticized Jordan as if he just came in and started dominating. When LeBron hit the wall, he quit and ran to Miami because he was afraid. Yeah. And that's why I look at him different. I use him. I was like, yes, he has money. Yes, he has success. Yes, he has fame. But is that really the path you want to take in your life? Do you want to have a life where you're constantly demanding respect from people? I'm telling you, I would take, he wants to be seen as a winner. Yeah, he wants to be seen as the greatest. But he didn't take the path necessary. People look at Jordan differently because he had to go through those Pistons. And when he learned how to win, they kept winning. I don't care if he needed Scottie Pippen, because we all need people in life. But he helped develop Scottie Pippen. And he helped develop other players. And other players that came, the new guys that came on the team, he taught them how to be winners too. Once he learned how to win, it was game over. Once he learned how to win, and he had to go through growing pains. He had his moments. We're not going to act like Jordan didn't have his moments. He had his moments of selfishness. He had his moments where he was so focused on developing his own game. He had to realize, yes, and that's a good characteristic to have, to look within for solutions and look within, but you also need other people. So he had to learn how to incorporate other people in that system. He had to buy into Phil Jackson's system. He had to learn those things and trust those guys. You come in the league with cokeheads, who would you trust? That's like going through a traumatic experience and everybody expecting you to just be cool. Oh man, I know you went through some abuse, but you got to hurry up and get better. No, if you go through something like that, you be like, man, I don't trust nobody, until you get around people that you can trust. Until you start to see, when people start to show you that you can trust them, then you start to change and you start to take those guards down and you stop walking on eggshells and you stop being so defensive and you stop being so hyper vigilant. That's the same thing with Jordan. He went from having cokeheads, now he got competent players and a competent coach and a competent front office. Now he can do his thing. And Scottie Pippen did his thing. And Horace Grant did his thing. He had a great team around him and they won. And it wasn't no less difficult. It wasn't the watered down era that JJ, and we know JJ Redick is friends with LeBron. So these dudes that plant these seeds for this younger generation, a lot of the comments that we see surrounding this subject matter comes from those guys that are in LeBron James' back pocket. It's crazy to me because I always get, when I get feedback or when I see posts, it's always something that Nick Wright said, JJ Redick said. It's nothing original. It's always something that one of these guys in the mainstream, either Shannon Sharp or one of those guys, have said, because they are trying to influence the masses and brainwash the masses to believe something that the masses ain't believing, because people are tuning out. It worked for a little bit. It works for that small group of fanboys, but it don't work on most people. People want to tune in when it's real. People respect you when it's real. When you respect yourself, you respect what you do, you respect those that came before you, you show those things, you don't have to demand respect. They'll give it to you. Thoughts on Anthony Edwards' statement about the 90s having zero competition? Does he need better people around him? Yes, he does. Smiley smile, what's good? Yes, Anthony Edwards does need better people around him. But who? Who will it be? This is a different league. This league is self-destructing and imploding on itself because you've created a culture of entitlement. And the face of the league is leading the way. And his career is manufacturing. He knows it. Yes, they blocked Kobe's trade with Chris Paul, and they okayed another trade where he was colluding with Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade. It's funny to me how this always happens with LeBron. So let's look at these different scenarios. Let's look at these different scenarios real quick. You get Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade, then you run to Cleveland. You are able to get whoever you want. Kyrie's already there, and then you make trades to get Kevin Love. Cool. Then you leave Cleveland high and dry. You go behind Kyrie's back to try to get him traded. He finds out about it. This is how we know he lied about Anthony. He knew about Anthony Davis. Lied about it. You did the same thing to Kyrie. You went and plotted behind his back. He got wind of it, and he was up out of there. Then you do this. Your agent, Anthony Davis, hold on, let me read this coming real quick. Jordan can play with any system due to his willingness to be coached and held accountable, whereas LeBron only wants, I agree with you. That's the difference between them two. One is coachable, the other one isn't. And we have to be coachable in life. But you look at the Anthony Davis situation, right? Anthony Davis signs with Rich Paul, and then you get him. This man be doing all type of conniving things, and we know he knew about that Luka trade. He's always done, there's a pattern of behavior where you don't get the benefit of the doubt anymore. It's okay to give people the benefit of the doubt when they've earned that. When you know that this person has always shown you they have good intentions. When you know that this person has a track record of doing the right thing. When you know that this person has a track record of coming through, then you give that individual they've earned the benefit of the doubt. But when a person shows you patterns of toxic and bad behavior, you no longer give them the benefit of the doubt. And he doesn't care because the media always covers him. Yeah, they do. They use the black thing. He's a black man. He's a black father. That's what they just did with the Stephen A. Smith thing. They know good and well. And I'm not the biggest Stephen A. Smith fan. LeBron can play with other superstars, but Kobe couldn't play with CP3. Exactly. What puzzles my mind about this whole situation that gets on my nerves? Yeah, they always use it. And they did it with this whole Stephen A. Smith thing. They flipped it. Stephen A. Smith was just saying, and he knows, you put your son in a situation that he didn't need to be in. It's cool if y'all want to play together. Be honest about it. But you're sitting here hyping this man up to justify what you're getting ready to do. You could have been upfront about it. Look, I ain't get to spend much time with my son. And growing up, I have those regrets. I was selfish. I was worried on my own career. And I just want to spend time with my son. Jordan only won in one system and he had to be told to pass the ball. That's young disciple for you. I'm not shaken by the brother thing because it's a time for LeBron to be black. He threw Kyrie under the bus. Yup. He knew that he was setting his son up for failure. It's one thing if you want to play LeBron disciple, Kevin. It's one thing to want to play with your son. Even if it's by chicanery or nepotism. But to sit there and you try to build it up to make it legitimate, or other teams wanted him, and if he don't get drafted by the Lakers, he's going to go play overseas. Y'all doing all this chicanery for no reason. You're lying to the people once again. You're being fake once again. You're being WWE once again. This is supposed to be real sports where the outcomes are not predetermined. But you're showing us WWE-like behavior. And you can't even be real about that. Yes, it is nepotism. Straight up. Yes, this is nepotism. LeBron wants to play with his son. We're going to let him play with his son. We don't care. He wants to play with his son. They're going to get to spend time together finally. You could have made it a beautiful moment. I just want to play with my son. Just because I don't get to spend time with him like that. There would have been some people that still would have had a problem with it, but quit. Quit lying. Be real about it. Your son, I want to play with my dad. I don't care about right or wrong in this situation. But he didn't do that. He built this man up. And then when he gets the backlash, and Stephen A. Smith said, man, you didn't have to do that. Your son already would have had pressure because you're his father. Your son already had enough pressure with the nepotism. Now you're going to add on to that, and then you want to turn around and cry about it later? You want to cry about it later? None of the all-time greats never did with LeBron James forcing the Lakers to draft his son. Yeah, exactly. I don't have a problem with guys getting drafted on good teams. That's not my point. And I know Young Disciple, but I just want to go ahead and we all just said Magic Johnson and Larry Bird got drafted on good teams. Tried to debone Stephen A. Smith, but it backfired. Stephen A. Smith is not changing Michael Jordan for LeBron James. Exactly. He tried to run up on old Stephen A. Smith. Like, dude, that was a weak move. I don't care what nobody says about that. This is my opinion. It was weak. You turn on Brian Windhorst. It's all fair game. Anybody can get it. You fanboys can get it too. Young Disciple, you can get it too. LeBron don't care about you. LeBron do not care about you, dude. He will see your comment and be like, look at this weirdo trying to defend me. LeBron was willing to confront Stephen A. Smith, but hasn't confronted Shell Shonen on them PED allegations when Sonen's double down. No. Or Kevin Garnett. He ain't run up on Kevin Garnett. He ain't gonna appear on Kevin Garnett's podcast and be like, so, you up here talking about I'm using PEDs, homie? What was that energy? But he's once again, using his son as an excuse to act the fool. And that's what some people do. They use other people, act like they're trying to act like what they're doing is for a noble cause when they know good and well it's for themselves. They know it's for themselves, but they'll sit there and act like it's for this noble cause to hide their real intentions. Dude, you were offended because somebody criticized you. It had nothing to do with your son being criticized. Because to be honest with you, people been handling this man with kid gloves. Even the critics say they feel sorry for Bronny. Even the critics of Bronny, they sit there and clown this man for bad games. They clown his game. But him as a person, no. I don't hear nobody saying nothing at all. I don't hear nobody going at this man personally. He said as a father. And what's your problem? You care? Young Disciple, because all those all time have respect and things LeBron doesn't have. Yes. Yes, he can say that. Because as a father, that's what he did. As a father, he put his son out there. As a father, he said, ain't no party like a Diddy party, and grabbed his son in the video. His son looked noticeably uncomfortable. LeBron promoted Bronny as a father. Didn't they say first father-son duo? So it's okay for LeBron to use his fatherhood to promote this event. To get his son out, get King Griffey Jr. and King Griffey Sr. out there. It was promoted as a father-son thing. But now all of a sudden, nobody can say anything about the father-son thing that he put out there himself. Make it make sense. So if you wouldn't have been having no problem if he's up here kissing his son's booty, telling you how great he is. I'm going to do what I want for my son. Exactly. They act like they didn't hear that. That's how it is. But, of course, fanboys gon' fanboy. Fanboys gon' fanboy. That's what I really don't care. At the end of the day, people going to have their opinion out there. Whatever you put out there, LeBron James is bumming for GOAT status. People going to do whatever they going to do no matter what. That is what it is. People going to have their opinion about whatever you do, no matter what it is that you do. You got to be okay with that. You're a public figure. You're going to get backlash on whatever it is that you do. And my brother-in-law coming in.
Yo.
I'm live right now on the YouTube. Y'all have an opinion. You can have an opinion. Yes. Young Disciple. I don't know. It is what it is, man. Like, when you promote somebody like that, when you put yourself out there, you got to expect what comes with it. You can't just accept just the good. You gotta take the good with the bad. And that's what he's refusing to do. Long as dudes is positive on him and saying positive things, but he has no problem throwing dirt on other people's names. He ain't got no problem with throwing dirt on other people's names. I see people all the time, you same fanboys that sitting there acting all self-righteous. I see y'all same ones talking about Jordan's son being on drugs. That's not a laughing matter. I don't find anything funny about that. But some of y'all will go and make these posts disrespecting this situation or making light of a situation that's very serious. There's people that had drug problems and it has nothing to do with the parents. Bronny is only balling in the G League. Is he balling in the NBA? Is he doing what his father hyped him up to be doing? No, he is not. It is nothing wrong with loving your son. There's nothing wrong with wanting to see the best for your son. But you won't want to put too much pressure on him. He already had enough hype. People already knew that he was coming to the league. That all this unnecessary hype was not needed. And throwing your teammates under the bus to do so. When LeVar Ball was hyping his son, I didn't see him tearing down a whole bunch of guys. I saw him hyping up his son. And guess what the media did? They was casting all type of aspersions on his name. Where were y'all at then? He was a black father. He was hyping his son up. He was actually doing things, trying to get his son in the league. And he got all types of scrutiny. Where was these pro black NBA players at then? I'm just trying to figure it out. They pick and choose who they want to defend. And guess what? Ain't the Ball brothers better than Bronny James? Both of them. Both of them better than him. Both of them. They came in the league and they balled. They not in the G League. So their dad was right. He didn't sit there and mislead the masses. LeBron knew good and well where his son was at. Unless he's just that horrible at evaluating talent. He knew. Y'all sitting there, I've never seen nobody hype up a G Leaguer. How many G Leaguers do y'all know? Do y'all think Bronny is the best G Leaguer in the league? Let's keep it 100. Do y'all really think that Bronny is the best G Leaguer in the league? What other G League players do y'all know? Y'all sitting there trying to justify something that's not justifiable. There are so many, most of y'all don't even watch G League games. Why y'all up here fronting? Y'all go look at the stat sheet. So y'all can go to the people, so y'all can go to the guys that are critical and be like, see, we told y'all. Y'all know good and well. Y'all know good and well y'all not watching these G League games. Stop the nonsense. Y'all capping. Y'all not, I don't know nobody I don't watch G League games. I don't know nobody that really sits down and be like, yeah, man, I watched the G League the other day. Who? Be honest. Why you sitting up here? You going online and looking up his G League stats. You didn't even watch the game. And then sitting there trying to hype it up. Is he ready for the NBA? What is he doing in the NBA? We don't care what he's doing in the G League. Lots of dudes are doing well in the G League and they're not in the league. What is he doing in the NBA? That's what matters. No one cares about what he's doing in the G League. There's plenty of dudes that hooped well in college. What are they doing in the NBA? There were dudes that were phenomenal in high school. What are they doing in the NBA? What you do in the G League has nothing to do with what you do in the NBA. There's plenty of dudes in the G League better than Bronny. There are dudes that didn't get drafted better than Bronny. Y'all, you gotta stop with this, man. Like a lot of y'all, some of y'all, you fanboys, y'all come in on the channels and on these things and sit here and say things that you know good and well you didn't really put no true time and investment in to really watch, to break down and see how good they really are. You just want to win an argument that is not winnable. He's not ready for the NBA. That was the point. No, that's the point. He's not ready for the NBA. Stephen A. Smith said he's not ready for the NBA. The scouts that before he got drafted said he's not ready for the NBA. Were they wrong? No, they were not. What is his NBA stats? I don't know why y'all pull it. I've never seen that before. I've never seen that before in the history of sports. That someone sits there and somebody is not ready for the NBA, and then they be like, I'll prove them wrong. He's ready for the NBA because look at his G League stats. Since when have we done that? Since when have we gone back and said, well, look what they were putting up in college? We had somebody literally say, compare Michael Jordan, what Michael Jordan did as a freshman in college, what Bronny James is doing in the G League. That's what we had. That's what we just had. We had somebody sitting there and said, look what Michael Jordan averaged as a freshman in college at Bronny. So you're telling me that Bronny is as good as Michael Jordan? Like, these are ridiculous things. These are the ridiculous things that y'all said. These are the ridiculous things that I hear online. And I'm like, where is the logic? And this is why people don't be watching the NBA like that, because we got ridiculousness in the media. We got ridiculousness with the players. We got ridiculousness just everywhere. It's a whole circus. It's okay if he's not ready, but let's not sit there and pretend like he is. Can we be honest? All right, fam. I'll see you inside. All right. Hey, Hazel. Can we be honest?
Hold on, you said Hazel?
Yeah, Hazel ain't got on.
Oh, that's funny.
Reloaded. Those dudes are weird. Yep. People are desperate, man. It's okay to be wrong. Phenomenal fit. I'm still thinking of Lance Armstrong effect. I got a feeling they're gonna get LeBron. They probably will. They got to move on, man. I consider him kind of like John Cena right now. I consider him like John Cena. They're having a John Cena problem in the NBA. They haven't spent enough time developing the new talent and promoting the new talent. I'll probably do another live sometime at the end of the week, probably Friday next week. I feel like the NBA is having a John Cena effect. And what I'm saying is they didn't. I do need to start doing panels. They're not developing the newer stars and pushing the newer stars. Yeah, LeBron really is John Cena. John Cena, they did everything in their power to make sure he won. Thank you, Love and Aries. I appreciate you. They did everything in their power to make sure this man won by any means necessary. Quick question. Did you hear about some LeBron fanboy making a love song about LeBron? Yes, I saw that. It was all on X. I said, this is the stuff I be talking about. This is the stuff I be talking about. This hero worship. This is what I be talking about. Jug is mad weird. This man literally made a love song to LeBron James. This is what when people be saying. I don't like John Cena either. Yeah, John Cena, he would bury wrestlers. They got a lot of similarities to them. They have a lot of their storylines have a lot of similarities to them. Like, you look at Randy Orton, that's kind of like Steph Curry, but it's crazy because it's like they stuck on the old guard. They still stuck on Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, LeBron. When you got Jokic, when you got SGA, you should have been pushing these guys. Giannis and all those guys, you should have been pushing them. You should have been pushing those guys to the forefront and allowing these guys to phase out because they're phasing out anyway. John Cena is the reason why I stopped watching wrestling. Yeah. The NBA is a star-driven league. So you can't keep having the old stars run things. You got to let these new stars, this new blood start getting promoted. You need to start pushing those guys. The media and all of them need to start covering these other guys and start letting them phase out. They actually had that same problem at first when Michael Jordan first left, and all those guys was Karl Malone and all those guys were getting old. Randy Orton is that guy, but he does need to retire. Yeah, he does. They had that same problem in the 90s. When those guys from the 90s started to phase out, they hadn't built stars at first. So the game went stagnant, and then Allen Iverson ascended, Kobe Bryant ascended, Tracy McGrady, Vince Carter, and all those guys, and they started pushing them. But they should have been preparing for that. But it still hit them hard. When Michael Jordan was gone, the league was in a panic. And they brought him back for a couple years. Just like they bring back John Cena. They brought him back. But to me, Michael Jordan was kind of like more like a Stone Cold or The Rock. He came, he was here, he left the game in a good position as far as how he carried himself and all of that. Then he was able to pass the torch, and then those new guys were able to take over, and we saw the 2000s being great. Then you got, Wade and Bron and Melo and all those other guys. So the league was able to thrive. But you look at this current generation, even though I couldn't stand David Stern at times, David Stern knew what he wanted. Yeah, Stone Cold is my go-to. Magic Johnson's like The Rock. Yeah. They had some great stars. And those stars, even Kobe and them, they left the league in good hands. But now, the league is worse off than it was. It's like, what do you do now? I think the NBA will crash. I think the NBA it's gonna have a wake-up call. I think when the WNBA's ratings exceed the NBA's, that's when they're gonna wake up. Because the WNBA right now, with Caitlin Clark, as long as they don't fumble that, they're going to be in a good position to grow as a league. And the NBA, they're going to get to a point, because they're carrying the WNBA financially. But they're going to get to a point where they're going to realize we got these exorbitant contracts and we're not delivering in the ratings. Yeah, women's basketball is better than the NBA right now. College basketball, I watched Caitlin Clark last year. I watched her championship game. I watched her in the WNBA. I actually watched a few WNBA games. I played on 2K, to be honest with y'all. I constantly watch old NBA games because today's league. Hey, bro, Clayton Phillips, I was watching the 2000 All-Star game, and I forgot how great it was to sit down and enjoy it. My girl Juju out for a season. Y'all heard about that. My wife told me about her injury. That was sad. I watched the 2000s All-Star game. It was good to see Kobe with the afro. Shaq had the purple and yellow shoes on. You saw Kevin Garnett bald-headed, Chris Webber. Like, it was dope to just watch that again and watch a competitive All-Star game. Yeah, WNBA had men in the chokehold. They did. People are talking about Angel Reese. Angel Reese she got her sandwich at McDonald's. She's she's in commercials. She got the Reese's Puff cereals. Caitlin Clark is everywhere. It's a great rivalry build-up. Even though Angel Reese need to learn how to hit some layups. But other than that, they got some great talent. Then you got Paige Buckner's coming out. Olivia Miles coming out. You got all these young women coming out that are going to take the WNBA to its next level. And I think that it's going to continue in an upward trajectory. Because remember, the NBA had its dark period too. Not too much of a girl. Yeah, the Angel Reese got a fan base, man. She got a fan base. At the end of the day, she got a cult following for real. Like, Asia Wilson is the best. Asia Wilson is the best. Asia Wilson is the best player in the league. Her and what's that girl name? Even though she get on my nerves, Breonna Stewart. Angel Reese is coming. Yeah, she got to work on her game some more though. I feel like she kind of caught up in the social media. She got to be careful. He said, nah, don't say that. She do got a following though. I feel like she gotta focus on her game more than the social media stuff. We gonna see, because to me, Caitlin Clark right now is better. And Caitlin Clark, have you seen her? She's in the best shape of her life. She is cut up. I've seen nothing but videos of her working on her game. And I've seen nothing but videos of Angel Reese suffering when she was in that league trying to be a socialite. I seen Angel Reese on social media all the time. So, yeah, she got talent. She can get rebounds like a mug. Yeah, I like CC. I'm not no person that's caught up in politics of things. I'm caught up in who's the best player. And I watched both of them. I watched both of their games. Caitlin Clark is a better player. She's one of the best players in the league. Her first game, she turned that ball over a lot, but when I watched it, her teammates wasn't ready. I love Brink. That white girl can ball. Yeah. Shoot. Another one that people ain't paid attention, Rickea Jackson. Rickea Jackson can ball. She gets some more playing time this year. Y'all gonna see she's gonna be one of the best players in the league. Rickea Jackson's so underrated because they talking about Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. They don't realize. Go watch her highlights in Tennessee, or go watch a game or two of hers from Tennessee. Rickea Jackson can ball. Mark my words. To me, she's the best player on the Sparks, especially on the offensive end. Brink, she gonna block the shots. She can hit threes. She's tall, but I think Rickea Jackson gonna end up being the face of that team and one of the faces of the league. If they mark her right, she'll be one of the faces of the league because she can ball. To give her that all they got to do, and she got and the locker room loves her. Y'all heard about Kennedy Carter? Kennedy Carter ain't get not Nan team picked her up. Not Nan team picked her up. I was actually shocked because girl can ball. Two different players, Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. Yeah, I'm not gonna sit up here and shit on Angel Reese. I'm not gonna do that. But I'm gonna be honest too. Just like I'll be honest with about other players. Be honest, even if it's my favorite player. I love Giannis Antetokounmpo, but I can be honest about him. It's a lot of players that I love. I love Allen Iverson, but I can be honest about him. Love Dwayne Wade, but I can be honest about him. I ain't got no beefs or issues with Angel Reese, but you gotta learn how to hit them layups. She need to be in the off season just working on landing them layups. Ain't nothing wrong. Everybody got weaknesses in their game. Michael Jordan had to work on his jump shot, and then he mastered it. I'm just being real. I love Giannis, but he has flaws offensively. Yeah, it's all types of dudes. It's all types of players. Angel Reese, I feel like she work on her game in the offseason. Work on them layups. She gonna be ready. Everybody got flaws in their game. Michael Jordan had to work on his jump shot. Magic Johnson had to work on his jump shot. It's all types of things. Allen Iverson, it's certain things he never developed. He needed to be a better team player. Go to practice. Work with his teammates. He never did it. Everybody got flaws in their game that they got to work on when they coming in. She was a rookie. She's a rookie. What people don't realize, the WNBA and NBA are two different sports. Well, they're the same sport, but they're two different leagues. They play less time, and their field goal percentage is not the same. He said not too much on AI either. Yeah, I love Allen Iverson, but he had his flaws, man. He had flaws. Everybody do. Everybody do. Like Michael Jordan, greatest player of all time. But that three-point line was his one area of his game that wasn't a part of his game that he really cared about. Kobe Bryant, my favorite athlete, but his leadership was shaky depending on who was around him. Yeah, he needed Phil Jackson. Kobe would tell you that. He needed Phil Jackson because Kobe was very domineering. He was similar to Jordan. Jordan needed Pippen. Jordan needed Pippen more than just on the basketball court. These dudes offset each other. Pippen would pat them on the back. Michael Jordan would get up in their ass. No diddy. That's just how they were. Kobe is a very domineering player. If you're not coming to play, he gonna go on you. So he needs somebody that can balance that out. Yeah, they play 90s defense in the WNBA. They definitely do. Their defense is far, far, far better. Their game is far more physical. They actually play defense. They actually play ball when you watch them. Caitlin Clark wasn't getting nothing easy. Angel Reese wasn't getting nothing easy. Like, none of them. Rakia Jackson, all of them. None of them. So, you got rare players. You got like a Jackie Young, who's a guard. They can shoot at a high field goal percentage. Her field goal percentage is through the roof. But great field goal percentage in the WNBA is in the low 40s. If you're a guard hitting in them low 40s, especially with the defense they play, that's realistic. I've been an A fan since 1996. That's what's up. I watched the when the WNBA first came out, I watched it, got away from it, came back. You said an A fan. You talking about Atlanta? I enjoyed the game. I actually used to watch the Houston Comets play. And to me, the greatest player, WNBA player of all time, I've been a fan of WNBA since 1997. Oh, yeah. I've been off and on. I'm not going to lie. There was a time when I was away from them. I got a girl crush on one of them. I don't know what team she plays for, though. Yeah, you say the name. Candace, my favorite female ball player, got a crush on her. Candace Parker. Yeah, Candace Parker got a whole wife now, though, bro. Oh, man. Oh, man. To me, the greatest WNBA player of all time is Cynthia Cooper. Diana Taurasi has the longer resume. She was fortunate enough to be able to play from college to the least of her career. She got a bigger body of work. But in that small period, nobody was touching Cynthia. And Cynthia, I wish if she could have played earlier on, the WNBA she could have came out 22, 20. Just imagine how much more she would have accomplished. She was in her 30s. Yeah, she won 4 straight WNBA championships. Couldn't nobody see her. You said the best female basketball player, Cheryl Swoops, and everybody got their opinion. Go look at what Cynthia Cooper was doing. She was cooking them. She was cooking them women. She was cooking. Lisa Leslie. I remember Lisa Leslie. They had an episode of her on Sister Sister. On Sister Sister, I remember that. Lisa Leslie was the truth. And then her and Candace Parker was on the same team, balling out. It's funny, the WNBA done changed so much. They used to have a team called the Sacramento Monarchs. You said she was a female Kobe. Yeah, she was dope. She was dope. When I think of the LA Sparks, that's who I think of. Because Candace Parker done kind of, even though she's an LA Spark to me too, she did go to the Chicago Sky, win a title, and then she went to the Aces, won a title. You remember Cheryl Swoops played against Michael Jordan one-on-one? Yeah, I vaguely remember it. But I do remember it. I remember that happening. Certain memories are very vivid for me. Like, I got a lot of vivid memories, and then some of them was like, I remember that happening, but I don't remember all the details. I remember Michael Jordan and Sue Bird had a commercial together. Anything you can do, I can do better. Sue Bird was the truth too. But it's funny because I watched women's college basketball. There was a period where I had stopped watching the WNBA and I was watching nothing women's college basketball. I've been a women's college basketball fan for a long time. Yeah, you remember that commercial? I remember I used to like a player named Ivory Lotta. Y'all probably don't remember her, but she played for North Carolina. I remember when Candace Parker was playing for Tennessee. I remember when Diana Taurasi was dominating with UConn. Matter of fact, UConn has had the most dominant players. Maya Moore. Like, look at the greatest WNBA players of all time. Most of them came from UConn. Diana Taurasi, Breanna Stewart, who else? Paige Buckner about to come in. She from UConn, but we'll see what she'll do when she get in the league. Maya Moore, like some of the best. When you look at the top greatest WNBA players, a lot of them are for UConn. That's how dominant UConn is. It's ridiculous how many of those players came from the University of Connecticut. I don't know how they get those players. Like, how do you get all those great players? Yeah, Maya Moore was a beast. She was kind of like, she was like a comet though. She was one of those stars. Like, she came and she left, but when she came, she was dominant, and then she left. She has an argument for the greatest, like that time period. You could be like, yeah, she one of the greatest. If somebody told me Maya Moore was the greatest, their GOAT, I wouldn't really argue with them. All these double A players. Oh man. Yeah, LL, Lisa Leslie, yup. Cheryl Swoops, yup. Double S. Caitlin Clark. I want to see what Caitlin Clark gonna do this next year, because I feel like she gonna take a Cynthia Cooper, yup, CC, another CC. Maya Moore, MM. That is so crazy. I really never sat down and thought about that until you just said that, Love and Aries. I never really sat down and thought about that. Thought about it. Like, man, it's a lot of people with these double letter names. That's crazy. Them girls be balling though. I'm definitely gonna watch this NCAA tournament though. I definitely want to see who gonna make it out. And I'm gonna watch the WNBA draft too when it come out, because I want to see. I think Olivia Miles is definitely going number 2. But it's an argument that she could be number 1, because as far as a point guard, to me, she's gonna be a generational point guard. Caitlin Clark gonna be putting up crazy assist numbers this season. Crazy assist numbers. I think for a long time she's gonna be they're probably gonna break. Them two are gonna probably break the record. All these assist records that we've been seeing. What's that player's name? She plays for the New York Liberty. Now she's back with Chicago. I'm trying to think of what her name is that has the current record. I'm so happy they're getting attention. Good for those ladies. Yeah, I'm good. They earned it. They earned it. They've earned the attention that they're getting right now. Juju Watkins, yeah, she's injured. She'll be back though. I'm rooting for her. She'll be back. She still got a couple more years of college eligibility. She'll bounce back, and I think everything gonna be fine with her. She young. She ain't old like me. I get injured. That junk lingers. I remember when I was a young whippersnapper, and I can get injured. I can hurt my ankle and still go out and play. Them days is done, son. Them days is over. Anything else, anybody in the comment section, I'm going to let y'all take over and tell me. I just tuned into Juju. And bam. Alright. She got hurt. Yeah. Injuries is a part of the game, unfortunately. I remember when Kobe first ruptured his Achilles. And Kevin Durant. I remember when Paul George's leg snapped. Like, it's some crazy injuries we done seen. Junk is scary. And that's the only thing I worry about with Juju is the psychological. When you get injured, it's not just a physical injury. Yeah, Paul George, you remember when his leg snapped? Like, it literally snapped. Snapped. Who do I have coming out the West? OKC. OKC. SGA, one of my favorite players, if not my favorite player. I like him and Jokic. But Jokic ain't got the team around him. Golden State, I don't trust Jimmy Butler. Even though playoff Jimmy might show up. Golden State might surprise us and make it to the Western Conference Finals. LA with Luka Doncic, they got a chance. But I really think OKC is going to come out the West, and I think they're going to win the championship. I think it's time for a new star to shine. And I think SGA is that dude. You said no Westbrook slander. I ain't got nothing against Westbrook. Never have. Never have. There was a time I've been critical of him from only on court. And my only criticism with Westbrook was his decision making sometimes. Like that was the only thing. But I feel like he's done a lot better in his decision making. But James Harden gets all the smoke. That's because his attitude. His overall attitude. I'm not just critical of like one person. Like anybody that has a certain way that they carry themselves on and off the court. Westbrook to me is always giving his all on the court. He remind me of Allen Iverson on the court. Allen Iverson on the court always gave his all. Like it's certain players. Kevin Garnett always gave his all. Tim Duncan always gave his all. Kobe Bryant always gave his all. And I know somebody gonna bring up the game. Remember that game he didn't shoot? Yeah, he was trying to prove a point. That's what some people do. Jordan did the same thing. I don't know if y'all remember that. It's certain people that when you talk about them, they're gonna be like, all right, I shoot too much. Here, y'all take over. This is why I do what I do. He was trying to prove this is why I do what I do. I take over these games and stuff, and I shoot as much as I shoot, because who else is gonna do it? Who else I got? When he got Paul Gasol and them, he changed up. That's how it is. But at the end of the day, Kobe Bryant gave his all. People know what we mean. That's like somebody saying, I don't take no days off. You know, literally, that's literally not true. But most of the time, they're going to be working. Everybody need a vacation. You can say, this dude's a good dude. Does that mean they're perfect? Like, they do something bad, you can be like, no, he's not a good dude. Nah. I just wanted to go ahead and throw that caveat in there, because I know somebody going to bring up when Kobe, in that Phoenix series, when Kobe decided that he wasn't going to shoot the ball. But anyway, I appreciate all y'all coming through. I appreciate the comments. I appreciate the continued support. I'm going to be talking sports on the other channel. I got a new video that's going to be coming up on the other channel. I thank you, loving areas. I thank everybody that came through. Everybody that came through and showed love. I appreciate y'all. So, Phenomenal Sports Talk is the other channel. I'll put a link in the description. I've also posted it. And I'll continue to post it. I'm probably going to go, once I start getting enough, when people start coming over there, I'll start doing lives on sports lives like this one. I know I haven't, because I'm transitioning. I decided to do a sports live on this one and talk about what I talk about on this channel and mix them together. And then there's, as people start going over there, that'll be strictly the sports talk one, and then this will be the fitness channel. Thank you, Emmanuel Linder. I'm getting on the panel if you have one. All right, I would love for you to be on there. I definitely want a panel. My wife gonna go live with me one of these days soon too. Y'all gonna get to meet my wife. We're gonna be talking about real life things and having deep conversations on this channel. So this channel is gonna be, you know, you're gonna see me and my wife are gonna be having discussions on topics. You know, she already talked to me about it, and I was like, yeah, we're gonna have to do that. So look for that too. On this channel, me and my wife, you gonna look forward to seeing us on here. And then on the other channel, that's gonna be like I said, my sports channel. Yeah, he said my daughter, yeah. Whatever she wanna be. Cause I try not to push them too much into something unless they really just want to do it or they ask. You know, because I want the kids to be kids and to enjoy life. And you know, I know how YouTube is. I know how YouTube can be unkind. Even the kids, even the people, you know, I know how these fanboys can be. With me, I don't internalize anything that they say. I take it with a grain of salt. I don't internalize anything negative that people say. As I've grown up, and that's what I try to tell people too. Don't internalize. Yep, she took over your last line. We didn't care about you anymore. Yeah, that's how it is. And that's good, man. It's a good characteristic. I want her to grow into her own, and I want her to be the best version of herself she can be. You know, that's all we want for our kids. I want her to, if she want to do YouTube, she can do YouTube. She want to do ballet. She want to be whatever she want to be. I want her to be it. Same with my sons. You know, I just want them to be their own person. They don't have to do what dad does. If they want to do what dad does, that's fine too. And then I'll help them along the way. Show them the ropes. I want to see them growing, and I want them to learn the lessons that I talk about on these channels. I want them to be able to watch my videos and get the lessons too earlier than I did, without having to go through the pain and the roadblocks and the bumps that I had to go through to learn those lessons. Learn it from your dad so you ain't got to learn it the hard way. Learn about people. Learn about self-love. Celebrating your small victories. Not being consumed or worried about outside validation. You don't need to have everybody cheering for you. Cheer for yourself. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to go and tell the world, hey, I'm that diva, I'm this. When you already know about yourself, people will automatically, they will see it. How you carry, your aura will say who you are. How you carry yourself. People will treat you. How you allow them to treat you. You teach people how to treat you by how you treat yourself. You know, if you treat yourself bad, people gonna think that if you see yourself as worthless, how you think everybody else gonna see you? You gotta see yourself as worthy of love, worthy of those things. And you show that by how you carry yourself, and you cut people off that don't show that love and respect. If they can't respect your boundaries, let them loose. That's what this series, that's what the 2K series is about. If people are not going to respect your time and your energy, you show them how to respect you by letting them know. If you keep giving them chance after chance after chance after chance, they're not going to take you seriously. But if they know, people know who to mess with and who not to mess with. Like I said that even with kids, they know which parent to go to, which one not to. Even as kids, we know that. We know if mama softer than dad or dad softer than mom, that's the parent we gonna ask. You know which parent to ask and which not to ask. We know that. People know who to mess with, who not to mess with. They know, hey man, don't mess with John. John crazy, man. We know that. So if you carry yourself as a person that don't play that, and they know not to cross you, they know who to ask for money, who not to. Because you can't be afraid to say no. If you want them people like, nah, I ain't got it. Or just straight up no. I ain't got to give you no explanation to why no. Just no. Then they know not to ask you. Because they know how you are. So we show people how to treat us. And that's what I want my kids to know. Like, don't let people run over you. Don't let people walk all over you. Don't let people... It's good to be kind. You should be kind. But you give your kind, you give your time and your energy to those that are worthy of it. You give your kindness to those that are worthy of it. And when people take advantage, you see them take advantage of you, you nip that in the bud. Because if you don't, you won't have nobody to blame but yourself for the situation you find yourself in. So, anyway, I appreciate y'all once again. Thank you, Loving Aries. Thank you, Rap Guy Loaded. Thank you to just everybody, man. All the people that showed up, showed out, gave their opinions. It was pretty much a positive live. I didn't really get anybody that was really negative. The young disciple, there was one guy but everybody else was good. And I really didn't have no issues with him because people gonna defend who they defend. That's what we do. But anyway, it's all love. Y'all take care. Have a great night. And I love you guys.